So about a month ago now, Bam Adebayo dropped 83 points in a game. And still, if you gave me the choice of these 4 players and asked me which of these 4 players are going to score 83, I think there's a better chance of, actually, that's like this prediction. And nothing against Bam, obviously. The guy's an all-star every year, one of the best players in the NBA, but no one expected it. But then I was thinking, there's got to be some even more absurd stat lines in NBA history. So I found all of them, so let's dive into it. Like that one Rondo game where he was on the Pelicans, December 27th, 2017, Pelicans and Nets. Surely that was a sold-out arena. But nah, actually, this Pelicans team was kind of stacked. Rondo, Drew Holiday, Anthony Davis, and DeMarcus Cousins. How'd this team not win at all? But Rondo this game, because that's why we're here. In 30 minutes, the guy goes for 2 points, 7 rebounds, and 25 assists. 25 assists in 30 minutes, that's 0.83 assists per minute. Like 40 assists if the guy played 48 minutes. But here's the thing that makes it even dumber. Every other guy who dropped 25 assists was also scoring. Isaiah Thomas, 23 points and 25 assists. Stockton, 20 points with 28 assists. Kevin Porter, 30 points, 25 assists. This guy Rondo, 2 points and 25 assists. Literally the only game in NBA history with 25 plus assists and under 5 points. Shout out to Quando Rondo, hell of a performance here. But next we got this. I know you know this picture. Anytime somebody does something good, this picture is flooded in their comment section. March 18th, 1968, 53 points, 32 rebounds, 14 assists, 24 blocks, 11 steals. Worst Costa Kufos game. But this guy Will gets a quintuple double. That didn't even sound right coming out of my mouth. Quintuple double. But I do gotta be honest, the 53 points, 32 rebounds, and 14 assists, fully verified. Those are official NBA stats. The 24 blocks and 11 steals, the NBA didn't even start tracking those till 1973, so those just came from the 76ers' own statistician, just keeping the track himself. So take that part how you want. Although the stat guy is in the Philadelphia Hall of Fame, so I kinda believe him. Shout out Harvey Pollack. But if you don't believe him, the block record in NBA history is 17. We'll get to that later. But Wilt allegedly at 24. So yeah, Wilt got the record if you believe it. But after that, Klay Thompson's 37-point quarter. I know I said it in other videos, but this is my favorite record in NBA history. I don't think there's a cooler one to go back and watch than this one. The guy actually could not miss. January 23rd, 2015, Klay Thompson, third quarter versus the Sacramento Kings. 37 points, 13 for 13 from the field, 9 for 9 from 3, 2 for 2 from the line, didn't miss a single shot. I mean, think about if your favorite team scores 37 points in a quarter, it's a great quarter. Then Klay does it himself. Also, Klay didn't even get a bucket to like the 9-minute mark in this quarter. Imagine this guy shot the ball for 3 more minutes. Probably could have had like 38. But the record before Klay was 33. Carmelo Anthony and George Gervin were both tied for 33. Shout out Melo and the Iceman. I feel like they're the exact same player, just 30 years apart. But Klay this game, in the first half, he was kind of cold. 3 for 9 from the field. Then the third quarter happened, and Klay finishes the game with 52 points. Klay, the coolest record ever maybe. By the way, if you want to be the coolest person ever maybe, you should sub. Thanks. But after that, we got a recent game. Nikola Jokic. On March 7th, 2025, this fool goes for 31 points, 21 rebounds, 22 assists. In NBA history, 75 plus years of basketball, thousands of triple doubles, nobody, not once, ever got 30, 20, and 20 in the same game. A league that had Wilt, Oscar Robertson, Russell Westbrook, Mario Hezonja, no one ever had a 30-20-20 game. And this was also the second most assists in a game by a Denver Nugget ever. Only the Fat Lever had more in a game. Shout out Fat Lever. He had one more. But if you think about this stat line, 30-20-20, it sounds almost normal because it's Jokic. Like compared to all the other records in this video so far, this one seems the most I don't know, gettable. But this actually might be the craziest one so far. But what about this one? December 20th, 2005, Kobe beating Bryant. So this is a game versus the Mavericks. And this is actually a good Mavs team. They got, Dirk, one-time All-Star Josh Howard, Jason Terry. Alright, maybe it's not a good Mavs team on paper, but the Mavs did make the finals this year with this team. And they got Didier Alunga Mabanga. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I had no idea this was DJ Mabanga till about 30 seconds ago. Shout out two-time champion Didier. But the game, Kobe in 3 quarters, 62 points. The Mavericks through 3 quarters, 61 points. Kobe completely outscores the Mavs in 3 quarters. And this is the only time in NBA history this happened. He didn't even play the 4th quarter because it was such a blowout. And Kobe had 30 in the 3rd quarter. Doing his best Klay impression. But we started off the video by talking about it. And let's actually really talk about it for a minute. Bam Adebayo's 83-point game. This one is exactly 1 month ago at the time I'm recording this. And it's actually just so random. Bam Adebayo, 83 points in a game. Bam's career high points in a game are 41, 38, 38, 36, then 83. How the hell does 83 get here? The second highest scoring game in NBA history. Bam's career average coming into this game was 15.8 points. This season alone, Bam only has 5 30-point games. Well, 4 and one's 83. But it's actually crazy how he got it. 31 points in the 1st quarter alone, 43 at halftime, 62 through 3 quarters, which, by the way, is exactly what Kobe had in the first 3 quarters of that Mavs game. But then Bam just kept going. Bam finished with 36 free throws made, the new NBA record. He broke the old record by 8, and it inspired this phenomenal tweet. My 83-year-old grandpa is too old for this app, man. He can't figure out how to add a bio. You know what? Someone give Ian Ziafu a Pulitzer Prize. But yeah, Bam was on another planet this game. I still don't know how it happened, but it was awesome to watch. But if we're going to talk about Bam's game, we may as well talk about Kobe's game next. Go back to Kobe for a quick second. January 22nd, 2006, Kobe Bryant, Los Angeles Lakers, 81 points. And the craziest part, this is only a month after the 3 quarters, 62 points game. This guy Kobe was on a heater for that stretch. Kobe goes for 81 versus the Toronto Raptors. This was the second highest scoring game in NBA history till Bam Adebayo existed. And the Lakers were actually down 14 at halftime. This wasn't a blowout. And then in the second half, he scored 55 points. 27 in the 3rd, 28 in the 4th. 55 points in 24 minutes to bring his team back. And the Lakers ended up winning by 18. He personally flipped that 14-point deficit into an 18-point win. Look at the Lakers roster this game. Lamar Odom, legend. Kobe, then Chris Mim, Kwame Brown, Smush Parker. Not great. But Kobe was actually really efficient too. 28 for 46 from the field, 7 for 13 from 3, 18 for 20 from the line. The guy was on fire. But then there was someone who was on fire passing the ball. December 30th, 1990, Scott Skiles, Orlando Magic, 30 assists in 1 game. And this record has just been standing for like 30 years. No one's touched it, and it seemed like no one's gonna. Since 2000, so the last 26 years, the most assists in a game, the Rondo game we talked about. Then Westbrook, and Rondo again, 24 each. But guess the other guy who got 24 in a game? Because, well, it's Ramon Sessions, Bobcats legend. But yeah, Scott Skiles, you're probably saying, who the hell is Scott Skiles? And that's kind of the whole point. This isn't some all-time great point guard. This is Scott Skiles of the Orlando Magic, dropping 30 assists in a game. And he also scored 22 himself. So Scott Skiles directly generated over 80 points in 1 game. And he only turned it over 4 times. So this actually got to be one of the best games ever. And honestly, it doesn't feel like this record's getting broken anytime soon. But next, we'll go to an elite stat line, a recent one too. Luka Doncic. Career Maverick Luka Doncic. December 27th, 2022, Luka versus the Knicks. 60 points, 21 rebounds, 10 assists. the first ever 60-20-10 game in NBA history. And this is a guard getting 21 rebounds with 60 points and only on 31 shots. He shot 67% from the field, but it's the context of the game. Knicks fans, close your ears for a quick second. The Mavericks were down 9 points with 33 seconds left. Then Luka intentionally misses a free throw, grabs his own rebound, scores, and forces overtime. So the first and only 60-20-10 game in NBA history might actually be the most elite performance I've ever personally watched. But that reminds me, this video is presented by PrizePicks, America's #1 sports pick app. And I've actually got a lineup that I'm rolling with right now. I took the Detroit Pistons to win the NBA Finals. I put $10 on it for a chance to win $166. That's a 16.66 times payout. And honestly, this isn't random because I feel like if Cade comes back healthy, they have a real path. He runs the offense, and when he's on the floor, the Pistons' efficiency is insane. That completely changes how competitive they are in the East, and honestly, I think they could dominate the East. And that's why I like this spot on PrizePicks. It's simple. You just pick more or less on player stats and even team outcomes, lock in your lineup, and you're set. I'll be posting more of my lineups on there too, so if you want to tell what I'm doing, make sure to follow me on the app so you don't miss anything. And if you've never tried it before, new users can pay $5 and get $50 in lineups instantly when you use code HMA. So download PrizePicks using the link in the description, use code HMA, and let's see if this Pistons pick hits. And as always, play responsibly. Alright, back to the video. Next, let's talk about the weirdest stat line in a game ever maybe. Draymond Green, February 10th, 2017. The Warriors are playing the Grizzlies. Draymond gets 4 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, 10 steals, 5 blocks. This guy got a triple-double with 4 points. The lowest scoring triple-double in NBA history. And the thing is, Draymond kinda sold the bag twice. Not getting 6 more points, he sold the quad-double. And not getting 1 more point, he sold the 5x5. Generational fumble in the greatest game ever somehow. But who cares? 10 steals in one game, then 5 blocks on top of that. And he also had 10 assists. There's only one person in NBA history who could put up that stat line. And his good friend did him out to Sabonis, Draymond Green. But then, let's talk about some scoring games. April 24th, 1994, David Robinson. And this one is low-key got some lore behind it, because going into this game, Robinson was trailing Shaq for the scoring title by a little bit, and the only way David Robinson wins it is if he goes absolutely nuclear. So what does he do? 71 points. The Spurs just feed him the ball every single possession, and Robinson went to work. 18 in the first half, 6 in the second, 19 in the third, and then 28 points in the fourth quarter. The guy finished with 71 and won the scoring title. I know Shaq had to be so mad, but Robinson was efficient though. 26 for 41 from the field, 63%. He ended the season at 29.8 points per game. Shaq finished at 29.3. And yeah, the Clippers couldn't stop Robinson if he was on one leg, but it worked. Shout out D-Rob. But then we got another 71-point game, D-Mitch this time. So Mitchell, January 2nd, 2023, 71 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists. And I get it, Mitchell and Robinson had the same amount of points, but Mitchell, the only 70-point game in NBA history with double-digit assists. And the part that makes this one insane, the Cavs were down 21 points in this game. And Mitchell just brought them all the way back by himself. And then at the end of regulation, he did the Luka thing, intentionally missed a free throw, grabbed his own rebound, tied it, then scores 13 more in OT. And the Cavs won. And his teammates were all injured too. Garland was out, Mobley was out. It was like just Mitchell. Robinson had 71, and it was a mission to get the scoring title. Kobe had 81, and it was a takeover. Mitchell has 71, and somehow had 11 assists. While coming back down 21, one of the most complete games ever. But if we're talking about complete games, we gotta mention Nate Thurmond's quad double. October 18th, 1974, Nate Thurmond of the Chicago Bulls, 22 points, 14 rebounds, 13 assists, 12 blocks. A quad double. And the thing is, the NBA didn't even track blocks and steals to the 73-74 season. So Nate Thurmond instantly goes out there and gets a quad double. But what makes it even more absurd, this was his first game with the Chicago Bulls. His debut. He gets traded to Chicago, shows up for his first game, and then gets the first quad double in NBA history. So basically, if he retired after this game, he would average a quad double as a Bull. Retire that jersey next to Yuki's. But honestly, Nate Thurmond averages a career 2.7 assists per game. How'd this guy go out there and drop 13 dimes? That'd be like, I don't know, like Jared Allen going out there and getting 13 assists. But Nate Thurmond, the first quadruple double in NBA history, his first game as a Chicago Bull, and then the game just never got talked about since that day, I think. Genuinely one of the most slept on performances ever. But you can't have a stats video and not mention Wilt's 100-point game. March 2nd, 1962, Wilt Chamberlain, the most famous game in NBA history. Wilt goes out there and drops 100 points. I mean, I feel like this is one of the most untouchable records ever. No one's even gotten 90 cents. No one's even gotten 85 cents. Just to make that happen, think about Bam's game. Bam would have needed his 83-point game and then needed basically another one of his averages on top of that, 17 more points. And Wilt did it shooting 36 of 63 from the field, 28 of 32 from the free throw line, and he got 25 rebounds. He also played every single minute. And Wilt that season, his average was 50.4 points per game, his average. So 100 was basically just doubling his average. And it was in Hershey, Pennsylvania, in front of 4,000 people. No TV broadcast, no video footage, just a few photos and an audio recording. The most absurd stat line in NBA history, pretty much easily in my opinion. But then we could go back to a player we've already talked about. I feel like when you're talking about crazy records, there's two people who hold everything, Wilt Chamberlain and Klay Thompson. And we got to go back to Klay for the next one. So this guy Klay, October 19th, 2018, 52 points, 14 threes in 27 minutes. The NBA record for threes in a game. 27 minutes is ridiculous. And the record he broke, 13, it was Curry's, his teammate. And the thing is, before this game, on the season, Klay was 5 for 36 from the three. Everyone thought he was washed. Then he hits 14 threes, and he didn't even play the fourth quarter. In the first half, he had 10 threes, which tied the record for most threes in a half. And then he finished with 14 threes on 24 attempts, 58%. Imagine having that green light. Steve Kerr always tells me, Curry, and Klay, we have the green light. Always just tells us to shoot. Shout out Kerr. But we talked about a bunch of 71-point games. Why not add one more to the mix? D-Rob has 71, D-Mitch has 71, and now D-Lil has 71. Everyone calls him D-Lil. But Lillard, February 26, 2023, Damian Lillard goes for 71 points in 31 minutes. Genuinely, I remember watching the first quarter of this game. He has 16 points. I remember being like, this is cool, but I don't care enough. I've seen 16-point first quarters a lot. Then I called it a night. Then I woke up and saw he dropped 71 and was so pissed I missed it. And on top of that, he had 41 in the first half, and his efficiency in this game was absurd too. 80% true shooting, 13 threes, and he only shot 22 threes, 14 for 14 from the free throw line. So yeah, Damian Lillard. If you watch Damian Lillard when he was in the bubble a couple years before this game, actually the greatest player of all time. And I don't even think I'm joking when I say that. But now, let's go back to another record merchant, Wilt Chamberlain. He had the 100-point game, he had the quintuple double, and now he's back. November 24th, 1960, Wilt Chamberlain, 34 points, 55 rebounds. Alright, this is actually the most untouchable record ever. The second most rebounds ever in a game is Bill Russell with 51. Wilt had 4 more than that. And in modern basketball, entire NBA teams average like 40 to 50 rebounds per game. And since 1984, the record's literally 35. Then 2 guys got 34. Yeah, man. Let me just get 20 more on top of that. And to make it even more wild, Wilt's opponent that night, William Russell. below average rebounder Bill Russell. In Wilt that season, he was averaging 27.2 rebounds per game. In the entire history of the NBA, only 26 games ever reached 40 plus rebounds by one player. 26 games ever. Wilt has 14 of them. Bill Russell has 8. So these guys account for 22 of the 26 games. And all 26 of these games happened before 1984. I mean, if somebody gets 20 boards in a game nowadays, you hear about it for the next week. The most rebounds in a game this season, Scotty Barnes got 25. Andre Drummond got 24. Pictureless OT, Mitchell Robinson, Cat, and Jalen Duren all got 22 apiece. So yeah, even Scotty Barnes 25, double that, and he isn't even touching the record. Unfortunately, not happening. But then we could talk about a player who hasn't been mentioned yet, Elmore Smith. Way back in the day, 1643, Elmore Smith of the LA Lakers put on a movie. 12 points, 16 rebounds, 17 blocks. And because blocks weren't tracked till the 73 season, this is officially the most blocks in an NBA game ever. The closest anyone's ever got, Shaq had 15, and so did Manute Bol twice. And besides that, the only modern day guys are Hassan Whiteside and JaVale McGee with 12 each. Still not even close to Smith's 17. And then Elmore Smith gets 12 points and 16 boards on top of it. So a block triple-double. And honestly, making it even more ridiculous, this is a list of the most blocks ever in a game. So Elmore Smith got the 17 on October 28th, 1973. 2 days before that, he got 14. Then a week after that, he got 14 again. I don't know what he was on, but he had to be on something. But speaking of people who have green hair and are friends with Kim Jong-un, Dennis Rodman. Alright, Elmore Smith is neither of those, but I had no other transition. But Rodman. This guy has one of the most absurd stat lines ever. December 1st, 1993, actually playing for the Spurs at the time, 0 points, 28 rebounds. That's actually the most Dennis Rodman game in Dennis Rodman game history. Went 0 for 5 from the field, didn't even get to the free throw line, and grabbed 28 rebounds. And 10 of them were offensive rebounds. And this isn't some random fluke either. Earlier that season, he had 25 rebounds and 0 points, and 24 rebounds and 0 points. So in 3 separate games that year, he had 77 rebounds combined with 0 field goals made. He holds the top 3 rebound games in NBA history with 0 points, just like why Dennis Rodman is one of the best players ever. But speaking of another guy who has green hair and friends with Kim Jong-un, Victor Wembanyama. Now, but for Wemby on this one, we got to go back to his rookie season. February 23rd, 2024, Victor Wembanyama in his rookie season goes for 27 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 steals, and 5 blocks. A 5x5. In the 75 plus years of NBA history, it only happened from 14 players. And Wemby did it as a rookie. The youngest player ever to do it, and the fastest anybody's ever done it in a game. He did it in 31 minutes. And still, he's the most recent player ever to get a 5x5. Second most recent being Yusuf Nurkic, of course. But if you guys enjoyed this, I would genuinely appreciate it if you could subscribe. It's the only thing that lets me know you guys want me to keep posting on here. Thank you for watching.